In the novel Lunar Shadows, a Moonlit Genesis, Kat, a resilient protagonist, navigates through a world of secrecy, trust tests, and personal challenges within a specialized military team. The story begins with Kat encountering a Master Chief who invades her office in search of medical store keys, leading to a confrontation revealing his unique violet eyes, a trait associated with Alexandria's Genesis, a rare genetic condition. Despite the tense interaction, Kat demonstrates wit and defiance, refusing to yield to his demands. As the narrative unfolds, Kat finds herself in the midst of an intense team-building exercise orchestrated by Darius, the enigmatic leader. This final test of trust pushes her to the limit when she's asked to strip as a demonstration of faith. The act becomes a metaphorical and literal barrier she must overcome to solidify her position within the tight-knit unit. Her determination to belong and her ability to confront uncomfortable situations head-on highlight her strength of character. Intertwined with the team dynamics, the novel explores Kat's personal journey, including her struggle with suppressed memories of assault and her quest for solace. A chance encounter with Digby, a fellow operator, leads her to a secluded wilderness where she confronts her emotional turmoil amidst breathtaking landscapes. Their connection grows as Digby offers her a sanctuary to run and clear her mind, hinting at deeper feelings beneath the surface. The novel further delves into themes of isolation and self-discovery when Kat, burdened by her past, secretly embarks on a solo mission to confront her demons. This decision strains her relationship with Digby, who desires to support her but is kept at arm's length, illustrating the complexities of trust and vulnerability in their bond. Action-packed sequences, such as the team's survival training and a high-stakes mission, provide adrenaline-fueled moments that contrast with the introspective scenes where Kat battles her internal conflicts. The climax involves a harrowing incident that leaves Kat physically and emotionally scarred, forcing her to seek refuge in her workplace, where she tends to her wounds and contemplates her next move. Lunar Shadows, a Moonlit Genesis, is a riveting tale that combines elements of suspense, psychological depth, and romance, set against the backdrop of a covert military operation. Through Kat's trials and tribulations, the novel explores the lengths one will go to earn trust, find redemption, and forge connections in the unlikeliest of circumstances. Chapter 1. Moon Phase Full. Folding her arms across her chest, Kat leans against the door to the office, watching as the thick-set muscular stranger in uniform searches the drawers of her desk. Master Chief, you are aware this is a restricted area, so you probably shouldn't be in here. She frowns as he ignores her and continues his search. Sorry, but are you looking for something in particular or just restyling the office? Removing some of the leather-bound books from the shelf, books she unpacked only an hour ago, he looks up and grunts. The keys to the medical store. They should be in that file cabinet, but they're not there. He throws another book on the floor where it lands face down, splayed open. I don't suppose you'd know anything about that. Kat puts her hand on her hip as she dangles the keys on the end of her index finger. These? Give them here, he demands, making a grab for them. Shaking her head, she refuses and quickly snatches them away. Alexandria's Genesis. She smiles. Your eyes, I couldn't help but notice. They're violet. It's a medical condition called Alexandria's Genesis. Well, some people say they're gray, and that it's just a trick of the light. Me prefer to go with rare genetics. She smiles. He doesn't. Instead, he holds his hand out and again demands the keys. Holding them behind her back, Kat again refuses. Tell me why you want them. First, I need some things from the medical store. Some things. She frowns. Such as? That's none of your fucking business. Now just give me the damn keys or I'll have you removed from this base. Irritated by his arrogant and frankly rude tone, she sighs. I doubt you can actually do that. Nonetheless, the answer is still no. Look, if you need some supplies, then just write me a list and I'll get whatever you want. Are you fucking kidding me? He laughs, lip curled in arrogant disbelief that she would refuse him. I am not writing any damn list. Just give me the keys. Now. She shakes her head and defiantly drops them into the side pocket of her khaki pants. Provoked, he looks her in the eye for the first time since the beginning of their exchange. Who the fuck are you? He frowns, his eyes tracing a line from her face to her feet, taking her in. She's slim, 5'9" with large breasts and long blonde hair which is tied in a neat bun on top of her head. His aggressive tone bothers her, but careful not to show it, she takes a deep breath and answers, Morgan. Lieutenant Katrina Morgan. Morgan. He scowls, remembering the name. Christ, they really did send a woman. Well, no way, no fucking way is this happening. He grunts and shoves past her in the doorway. Nice to meet you two. She sighs as an inexplicable coldness sends a shudder down her spine, and the hairs on her arms bristle. The encounter wasn't exactly the greeting she'd hoped for when she arrived. Unsure what to do next, she closes the door. Now alone in the office, she takes the keys from her pocket and places them on the desk beside her laptop. Then looking down, she notices a leather-bound book lying by her chair, Dr. Cunard's Herbal Medicine and the Occult, as one of the books he'd discarded during his search, and with no consideration to its value he'd tossed to the floor. Picking the book up, she carefully returns it to the empty slot on the shelf, and then dragging her chair from under the desk sits down. 10 minutes, she sighs, her reading distracted by the raised voices in the room adjoining hers. A door slams and she looks up, listening as heavy boots clump on the polished floor outside her office. Fuck, she curses, closing the lid of her laptop, then pushing the chair back. She stands up as the door to her office is thrown wide open. The doorway, filled by the solitary figure of a man, Master Chief Jackson, the same man who 15 minutes ago was searching her office. Do you know what I want? He commands. I want you to pack all this shit up and then get the fuck out. You want me to get out? She frowns, finding his forceful aggression slightly alarming. Can I ask why? Why? Because I said so, that's why. Now take all this crap and get the hell out. He orders, gesturing his hand towards the books and collectibles on the shelf, including a unique and unusual silver dagger. What in God's name is all this stuff? He sighs. Actually, you know what? I don't care, just pack it up and get gone. Oh, but before you do, give me the goddamn keys to the store. Sorry, but I can't do that. I'd need to speak with Commander Edwards first. He said if I had any problems that I was to report to him, and now, well, it would seem I have a problem. Don't worry yourself about Edwards, he'll speak to you in due course. Now. He picks up the empty cardboard box and starts packing it with books from the shelf. I said, get the fuck out. Please, can you leave the books alone? She asks politely. Some are first editions and very rare. Again, he ignores her and continues, aggressively throwing books into the box. Master Chief Jackson, please stop. Her recognition of him by name forces Jackson into a wry smile. Turning around, he faces her. Oh, so you do know who I am then? Yes. She looks at him and smiles. Well, it would have been pretty dumb of me to take this posting and not know who you are, right? Damn right. He grins, and with a self-confident smirk filling his face, he holds up another book and drops it with a heavy thud onto the floor. Incensed by his actions, Kat's about to reply when she hears a cough in the doorway. She turns around and sees Commander Edwards leaned against the door, watching the pair of them. She stands to attention. Sir. At ease, Lieutenant, he groans. Master Chief Jackson, what in the hell do you think you're doing? Jackson leaves the books and sighs. I told you, sir, she's not staying. Yeah, I recall you saying something like that. But I don't believe you. Waited for my reply? Lieutenant. He holds the door open. Would you mind waiting outside? I need to talk with the Master Chief alone. Kat nods and immediately leaves as Edwards closes the door behind her. Sit. Commander Edwards steps forward and points at the desk in front of him. I said sit down. Begrudgingly, Jackson does as he's asked. Then he folds his arms across his chest and hisses loudly, sucking air through his teeth. Edwards also sighs, a long drawn-out breath that hints at his frustration. Then, stroking his hand over the smooth baldness of his head, he continues. As I was explaining in my office, Command wants your team back in the field. SAP, and that means you need a medic, that's her. He frowns, taking another deep breath. Darius, your team hasn't been operational in over 6 months, and all because you can't find a goddamn medic. You like hell, the last one quit the military altogether, and I don't even want to imagine what you did to him. He scowls as Jackson stares back at him. Look, the cake eaters are all over my ass about this. A DevGru team not on ops, that's a problem. Black Squadron not on ops, much more of a problem. But having a team like Wolf sitting on its ass, that's a definite no-go. He sighs again, taking a minute to let Jackson reflect on his words. You know, They're talking about splitting your team up, redistributing the talent. What the hell? They can't seriously do that. Oh, they can. And they will unless you get your ass back in the field. Before Jackson can object, Edwards holds his hand up, signaling for quiet as. They both take a moment to reflect on the situation. Sir, you know my team is the best. Hell, it's better than best. But you also know that he jabs his finger toward the door. She is not right for this team. Is she not? Really? Edwards cocks his head. Darius, did you even look at the file I gave you? No, don't answer that because I know you didn't. You didn't because you already decided you wouldn't take her. God, it pains me that I know you that well. Sir, with all due respect, she's never gonna make the grade. I mean, come on. Have you looked at her? The size of her? We both know physically she can't. And hell, I'll even lay money she knows it. And again, with respect, sir, every damn medic they send is a waste of time. I mean, do they send these jerks on purpose just to piss me off? No one has been as good as Marco, and you know that. Alright, I know you have a problem with the medic with her size and physical attributes, and you may have a point, but trust me, someone with this level of training, she's one of the best applicants we've had. In fact, she was the only fucking applicant we had. It would seem your reputation precedes you, Darius. His voice hitches as they continue to stare at each other. Jackson is known for being an arrogant ass, and it's more than evident in his behavior towards any and all new arrivals. Since his team lost their long-standing medic to an IED, he's been reluctant to have anyone new on the team. But this time, Lieutenant Morgan's gender adds to his resistance. You know, I have an excessive MOS looking for positions on teams, but your unit, not one single fucking application except for hers. Edward sighs, pacing back and forth across the room, his way of calming himself. Darius, Brass is pushing hard for you to take her. If you want her gone, then fine. But you're going to have to find me a legitimate reason as to why she doesn't meet the mark. If you do, then no question she's gone. A legitimate reason? What the hell is a legitimate reason? I don't know, use your goddamn imagination. You're the team commander, that's your problem to work out. Frustrated, he massages the nape of his neck. Hell, take her on exercise, I'm sure you'll find a flaw there. I mean, you have all the others. I don't care what it is, but Darius, make sure it sticks. Because this can't come back on me. If you want her out, then I need something watertight, because my dick's swinging in the wind here, and that means yours too. He sighs, taking a deep breath. Just remember, you send her packing. Then you'll have no choice but to take whatever they send next. I need this team back on operations, is that clear? Yeah. Crystal. Jackson sighs, raking his fingers through his floppy dark hair. Oh, and sir, what happens with her now? Well, for now, officially she's this team's medical officer, so you'll show her some respect. He opens the door and then immediately pushes it closed. Oh, and Darius, just a reminder. Don't scare the crap out of her, because, trust me, the last thing I need right now is more paperwork. That one with the medevac was a fucking nightmare. Angrily, Jackson rolls his eyes and rubs his hand over his head. Fuck, he curses, looking at the door. Kat is standing there, arms folded, glaring at him. Now, would you like to put my books back on the shelf, please? He stands up from the desk and steps forward, towering over her. Using his height to intimidate, he stares with contempt. I wouldn't bother putting those books back because you won't be here long enough to make it worthwhile. He looks at her, angry, his violet eyes deepening in color, but he is fascinated by her calmness, and he holds his gaze. With anyone else under these circumstances, his aggressive and domineering stance, he would see at least a flicker of fear. But she doesn't flinch. That makes him both curious and annoyed, but staying ice cool, he's careful not to show it. She's never seen purple eyes up close, and intrigued, she stares back at him. Well, you know what? I'm staying, and so with all due respect, sir. Fuck you. We'll see. He grins with a superior smirk as he pushes past her to leave, slamming the door shut. Kat sighs and leans on the desk. Taking a deep breath, she fights with her furious internal voice, which now enraged is trying to overwhelm her. Just focus and stay calm. You knew this bullshit was going to happen, so just ride it out. It's going to be fine. She closes her eyes and sighs. Really? Kat, what in the hell are you doing here? Chapter 2. House number 15. located at the far side of the base in a private cul-de-sac where most of the team operators live. White front door and gray slat. Cladding, a 2-bedroom house, pretty standard for this grade of military accommodation. Standing on the step, Kat takes a deep breath, ready to knock, when suddenly out of the blue she is overcome by a hot flush, struck by an unexpected bout of nerves. Lowering her hand, she takes another breath, turns around, she walks quickly down the stone path that leads back to the street. Now standing motionless on the sidewalk, she looks again at the house. She closes her eyes and takes a moment to settle her thoughts. Oh my God. Come on, Kat, what the hell's wrong with you? Just knock on the fucking door. She sighs, not exactly sure what's making her so nervous, but she's filled with an uneasy tension, like she's expecting something to happen. Maybe she's tense because all the way here she'd worried how he'd respond. Would he like her? Or like Master Chief Jackson, would he be resistant, stubborn, and abrasive? Looking toward the sky, Kat sees that the sun's fading fast, bringing with it the cooler darkness of evening. The street's quiet and the lights lining the sidewalk slowly flicker on. Kat takes another deep breath and smiles. It's heading into her favorite part of the day, the night. Still smiling, Kat looks up. The scattered clouds have disappeared and now the light from the full moon dominates the star-sprinkled sky. It instantly calms her. Then, pulling the elastic tie from around her hair, she loosens the tight bun and releases her blonde locks, raking her fingers through their length, allowing her curls to fall softly around her shoulders. Then, with renewed confidence, she strides toward the house. She shoulders the heavy duffel on. Her arm takes 2 small steps up and knocks. Yeah, just hold up. The deep gravelly voice calls from inside. I'm just coming, like literally. Kat prepares, wiping the small pearls of sweat from her brow. It'll be okay. She reassures herself. It's just a couple of days until they can find you somewhere more permanent. Waiting patiently, she tilts her head from side to side, easing the knot of tired tension from her neck. Kat never expected to get this post, and so wasn't really prepared when Commander Bailey told her, "Pack up your shit, Kat. You're shipping out." The very next day, she was sitting on a bus traveling here, and the last thing on her mind at that nervously exciting moment was a place to stay. She had applied so many times to DevGru and the SEAL units for any and every post that required medical qualifications, even those beneath her level of expertise. At first, her commander, Bailey, would laugh at every application she made, but eventually, his laughter faded, and instead he'd sigh with a resigned pity. He could tell how determined she was, but he could also see her disappointment each time a rejection came back. But even he acknowledged she deserved this and that she really was overqualified for her current posting. But what could he do? "Kat, you're a great medic, but why the hell would you keep doing this to yourself?" She'd shrug and he'd grin before reluctantly submitting another of her requests. It got to the point that he'd even follow them up and using his position and rank to push each one just a bit further up the chain, desperately hoping that at some point someone somewhere may notice her determination. But still, every time, despite even his best attempts, they would come back rejected. And, fresh out of ways to show his sympathy, he'd just repeat the line, "Sorry, Kat, not this time." This time it was different, and he choked on his lunch as the acceptance call came through. In his office, he leaned back in his seat, cocking an eyebrow as he looked at her and asked, "Are you sure that this is what you want?" She nodded, though it was a lie. She wasn't sure, but having made it this far, there was no turning back. This had always been the last desperate attempt, a roll of the dice, a fuck-it-all moment to accomplish the one thing she'd always dreamed of throughout her career, being a medic on a special operations team. Still, despite her elation at the acceptance, even she couldn't understand why a Black Ops team like Wolf had a post that no one else applied for. It made no sense. After all, this was the very best that the military offered, the elite of the elite, a top-class specialist unit. Information on the post was classified, so she still wasn't clear exactly what it was she'd signed on for, and naively, with her limited security clearance, she tried to check it out. She was curious about what the posting entailed, but she came back with virtually nothing. The little snippets she did find out came mostly from rumors and gossip. The post had remained vacant for over 6 months. The team leader, Darius Jackson, whilst by all accounts a fearsome warrior, was also a complete ass. She was warned not to cross him, because if he doesn't like you, then you're out. She'd also spoken with other special forces medics, and even though they were more field qualified than her, they wouldn't apply, which made her even more curious. Why did no one else want this post as much as her? The rumors made her apprehensive, but then again, this was covert operations. And it was all she'd ever dreamed of. She'd imagined so many times what it might be like to be on one of those teams, but she also knew the odds of them accepting her, a woman, would be almost zero. But despite all the reasons not to, she applied anyway, and with the call sign Wolf, she knew it couldn't be more perfect. Standing here now, she can't recall if it was her or Commander Bailey that was more surprised when she was accepted. Cat, this is Black Ops. Hell, even I don't know a damn thing about what they do. Bailey sighed, the worried look on his face. He was like a man whose daughter had told him she was marrying a mafia boss. Are you sure this is what you want? Just say no before I make this call. But like before, she nodded. She was sure, and then, with barely enough time to pack her stuff, she was on her way, leaving money with an acquaintance to cover bills and the final rent on her apartment. She then took her cat and gave him to the woman across the street. It didn't really matter, the damn cat didn't like her anyway, always hissing and snarling any time she came into the room. Being honest, he already spent most of his time over there anyway, so much so that when she dropped it off, the woman was surprised that he wasn't really hers. The fact was, she hated the cat and Boots hated her, so her leaving it behind suited them both. Then, without a word to anyone about where she was going, she crammed her clothes into a canvas duffel, placed her precious medical books and some chosen possessions into a cardboard box, and left. She had arrived here at the base in the early hours of the morning and spent most of the day in meetings discussing security protocols, arranging ID, and meeting several other officers before being handed keys to her new office. And it was while organizing her things around the room that she realized she had no place to sleep. Having given little thought to where she would stay, she approached her new commander, Norman Edwards. He was sorry when he came to her office later in the afternoon, but he'd tried. She was sure that was only because of how badly he'd handled the earlier confrontation between her and Jackson. What he hadn't told her was, privately, he dreaded introducing them. He'd spent the previous day avoiding Darius just so he didn't have to mention the arrival of another new medic woman, because he knew how badly he'd react. Putting it off seemed like the best idea. But as sorry as Commander Edwards was, it didn't alter the fact there was still nowhere appropriate on the base for a female LT in a special operations team to live. And so, he made the decision that temporarily he was going to place her in mixed accommodation with a guy from her unit who had a spare room. Let's just see how it works out for now, he'd said, sighing reluctantly, because the solution was less than ideal for anyone. He also knew it would piss Jackson off even more, and so he kept that quiet. By the time he finds out, well, she'll be in situ and I'll be gone on 2 days of relaxation. He'll simply have to find a solution. After all, she's part of his team now, his responsibility. Kat accepted the offer. Well, what choice did she have? At this late hour she had no other options. And so that's why she stood in front of the white door waiting. Eventually, after waiting several more minutes, the door opens and Kat gasps. As a feeling, nerves, apprehension, excitement, she doesn't know which, but it hits her hard in the chest and her body flushes hot amber as she looks up at the man who stood in front of her. Senior Chief Ryan Westwood, she mouths. He's considerably taller than she imagined. At 6'9" in height, he's at least a foot taller than her. Tanned with deep rugged sun-bronzed skin. He's well built, not stupidly muscular like a bodybuilder, but more a perfect balance of tone-tight, well-defined muscle in all the right places. She can see his muscle-laden torso and ripped abs because he's wearing only an unfastened pair of camouflage pants and no shirt. And with the perfect smattering of hair on his chest and a matching stubble beard. God, he's gorgeous. But despite how magnificently sculpted his body might be, it's his eyes that steal her attention. The most sapphire blue she's ever seen, piercing and soul-searching, and as his stare locks with hers, it's like he can see right inside her, reading her thoughts. Not really, she hopes. Because right now, she wouldn't want anyone to know what she was thinking, especially him. Kat can do nothing except stare. Embarrassingly, her jaw drops and she gasps. Still staring, she nervously swallows. Hey, he smiles. Can I help you? Oh, thank God. She sighs under her breath. At least he seems friendly. Her eyes drop to the crumpled piece of notepaper in her hand and she reads from Senior Chief Westwood? Yeah. He grins wide across his face as he looks at her, but then why wouldn't he? She's tall and attractive with gorgeous long blonde hair and stunning green eyes which are perfect gems in her sculpted face. And the bonus is she already knows his name. I am, but you can call me Digby. He sniffs. So what can I do for ya, honey? His expression quickly changes, and deep furrows appear on the smooth skin of his brow as it suddenly dawns on him why she might be here. Oh hell, did we fuck? My apologies if we did, 'cause I don't seem to remember which. Looking at you is actually really worrying. Huh? She frowns, surprised by the question and also slightly concerned that he may actually be reading her mind. No, we haven't. We didn't. And no, we haven't met before for anything. She stutters as graphic images of him pressed against her body start to fill her head. Pulling herself together, she smiles. Looking at him, she can't place his accent, a mixture of tones with a hint of a southern drawl, but his voice makes her body tingle. Yes, if gods walk the earth, then Senior Chief Ryan Westwood is exactly how she would picture them. She isn't exaggerating with his accent, his eyes, and that body. He's the perfect specimen of a man. Taking a deep breath, she's not sure exactly what, but something is sending her insides into a quivering frenzy, and even the smell of his aftershave is turning her on. He's making her clit throb and panties wet. Having not had sex in a while, the sensation catches her by surprise and she now loses herself in a haze of X-rated fantasy. She bites her lip in spite of herself. Digby smiles. He can read the look on her face and he coughs, interrupting her moment. Hey, who the hell did you say you are? Oh, I'm Lieutenant Morgan Cat, the new medical officer for Black Squadron. Your team, Wolf Team, she stutters. Taking a breath, she composes herself as she tries to talk properly instead of stammering like a teenager in heat. Damn it, Cat, what the hell is the matter with you? For God's sake, talk like a grown woman. Hey honey, can you just give me a second? He smiles, cutting her off mid-thought and holding up his finger, gesturing her to stay quiet. Rosie. Sweetie, do you want to get dressed? I gotta take care of something. He turns around and grins. Sorry, I won't keep ya. Kat nods, but she's not really listening anyway. All her attention is focused on his body, and her eyes trail a line over the curves of his chest to his abs, and down to the unfastened zipper on his pants. Holy shit. She gasps under her breath. He is so freaking hot. He smiles and chews a tab of gum, noticing the effect his body is having on her. Rather than be embarrassed, he's comfortable with it. It's normal, natural reaction. Sorry about that. Now what can I do for you? He smiles. Again. You said you was a medic? Well, you're more than welcome to come give me a physical. But there's nothing physically wrong with this body. I'm at my optimal peak right now. Well, more like 10 minutes ago, when I was putting pups into Rosie. Ain't that right, baby? He turns and leans down to kiss the short, sweet-looking redhead who is now standing next to him in the doorway. She's naked except for a small pair of black lace panties and is caressing her hands over his body, petting him. So what's going on, baby? She smiles, sweetly looking Cat up and down. Oh, I was just telling the doc here that I'm at my peak right now. Oh yeah, damn right he is. He's my wolf to the moon, she snarls, her hands poised like claws. Rah! She grins, sniffing him. Why all gotta love him? Cat frowns, watching as they kiss as if she wasn't there. Coming up for air, Digby smiles. You know what, Rosie honey, why don't you go get cleaned up? Looks like Dig's got some work to take care of. Sure thing, babes, but remember we only have another day for baby making. I know, and I told you we will. Cat frowns, wondering if they are for real or if it's some daddy kink fetish. She's misunderstood? Standing here in the doorway, they look like a couple from a porn set, but now they're talking about making babies, and she wonders if they're a real couple. They don't appear suited to each other. He's every inch the stereotypical alpha male, and she hardly looks older than 20. Much too innocent to be with this mature, rugged, tough guy. Simply doesn't equate. Maybe I should come back later? Cat says. No, it's okay, you can come in. Rosie's just going home, we're finished up here. Oh. Cat's surprised that Rosie doesn't live here. Surprised but pleased. She sighs, watching as they kiss again, a long and embarrassing goodbye, and Rosie leaves, blowing kisses from the path like an infatuated fangirl. So, did you want to get physical with me or not? What? Kat chokes, shocked because she misinterprets his teasing. Oh no. I'm not here for that. What I mean is I'm not here for your body, about your physical, your health, she stammers. No, not yet. Tomorrow we'll work on you. I mean that. Why, our health, we'll work on that tomorrow, she says. Looking at him, Kat thinks he isn't joking about being in his prime. She struggles to hide her excitement. A pulse of electricity throbs in her. Now damn panties. Sure, she's been without for a while, but standing here, tongue out, salivating, is not a good look for a highly skilled medic. But here she is, acting like a Rosie, practically drooling in a daze, and it's as if he's cast a sex spell on her. Then, taking a deep breath, she closes her eyes and clears the lustful thoughts from her mind. Finally, she considers the actual reason she's here: accommodation. I'm Lieutenant Morgan, and Commander Edwards said he's spoken with you about me staying here. Staying here? You? He wants you to stay here with me. He frowns. Are you serious? Edwards said that he wants you to stay here. He smiles, before erupting into a fit of laughter. When she doesn't move and maintains the serious look on her face, he stops laughing. Are you sure Edwards told you to do that? Because really that don't sound like something he or anyone else would do. Least not anyone who knows me. Yeah, I'm sure. There's no female-only housing and nowhere else I could go. With us being attached to the same unit and you having a spare room, he thought it would make sense for me to stay here. Now wait just a freaking minute. Back the fuck up and rewind. Same unit? What the fuck does that mean? Honey, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be in my unit. It's just not possible. He frowns. This has to be a mistake? Some sort of misunderstanding, because this doesn't happen. Are you sure you got the right place? Yes, it's the right place. See? She hands him a scrap of paper with his name and address on it. Okay, so this is a damn joke, right? He looks outside the front door and along the street, calling out loudly, Hey! Yeah, hilarious guys. But the streets are quiet and empty. No, it's not a joke. I guess I'm your new bunkmate. She smiles. What the fuck? No, you don't understand. I don't share, not with anyone. Mean no disrespect to you, honey, because you are damn hot, but I don't share my personal space. I'm a lone wolf and that's the way it stays. Plus I don't have a spare room, well, not an empty one. First of all, thanks. You're damn hot yourself. And I'm sorry, but you'll have to make an exception, at least for tonight. Kat sighs and continues. Look, I'm sure it's just temporary, and they'll sort something in a day or two, but in all fairness, I just need a place to crash for tonight. I'll get back to them first thing in the morning. I promise. Kat's tired, and even though staring at his body is a welcome distraction, what she really wants is to take a shower and get some sleep. Her patience is running out and her mood is changing. She was ready for all the testosterone-fueled bullshit and hell. She anticipates plenty more, but she will not be bulldozed without a fight. So what, you'd rather I sleep out here on the step, rather than let me use your spare room? No, Digby says. He gestures to his step with his big hand and continues, because you're not sleeping on my damn step. Go sleep someplace else. He takes a deep breath and watches as her vivid green eyes flicker in anger. Then he smiles. He likes it. Her fiery rage is turning him on. Though you know. He wets his lip with his tongue. If you want to come in and fuck, then I might make an exception for that. She sighs. What, me and you right now? She can't help but laugh. Seriously. Is she really giving his proposition consideration? No. But she does phrase her rejection carefully, even if she's not up for it right now. It doesn't mean she might not be open to it another time. Digby. Don't want to fuck, not now, or well, I just don't. She holds back from saying ever. I mean, a girl doesn't need to limit her options, right? Not when those options look like him, after all. You never know what needs you could have in the future. Kat, pulling her mind out of the gutter, she focuses on the now. I just need a place to take a shower and sleep. She's tired and sighs loudly. I won't bother you. I promise I'm quiet, clean, tidy. And you won't notice I'm here, and I don't mind if you invite Rosie back and have loud, noisy sex, honestly. Do whatever you want, I won't stop you. Oh my god. This is fucking crazy. This is Edward setting me up, right? He frowns. Okay, come in, but you just wait right there by the front door. You don't move. I need to make a call and sort this shit out. Taking his cell from his rear pocket, he mumbles quietly to himself. In the same freaking unit. What the hell medications is this woman taking? Hey Darius, it's me. Yeah man. Yeah, forget that. I need you to get your ass over here to my place. Don't give me that damn bullshit that can wait. No, you get the fuck over here now. As he makes the call, she listens, but she can't hear the conversation on the other end, so she waits patiently. Yeah, well then answer me this. He continues ranting into the phone. Why the hell am I looking at some damn woman? Says she's a medic? Says she's been told to stay at my place. By who? By Edwards, that's who. Yeah, right. Yeah, well that ain't my problem. Right. Good. Thanks. I'll see ya ass in a few minutes. He sighs, throwing his cell on the couch before looking at her. Right, Darius is on his way. Oh great. She sighs, rolling her eyes. Yeah, that's just great, that's exactly who I want to see right now, Darius. Chapter 3. Still standing in the entrance to Digby's house, Kat sighs as she casts another quick look at her watch. They've been stood waiting for quite some time and her patience is waning fast. You know it's getting late and I just wondered how long we are going to have to stand here. Digby doesn't respond. Taking another deep breath, she stares at him standing in the entrance to the hall, his arms stretched above his head, fingers gripping the top of the frame. He looks huge and his well-toned body fills the entire doorway. Making a desperate attempt not to look at his sexy chest and perfectly toned abs, Kat instead keeps her eyes focused on the picture hanging on the wall behind him. He's doing the exact opposite. He can't stop looking at her. Something about her excites him. She has this unique and mysterious beauty and he's mesmerized by her. Her stunning vivid green eyes are like deep pools of Aegean water he could drown in. He's also bored with the waiting, but unlike her, he doesn't move. His sniper training means he can hold the same position for hours. We're waiting till Darius gets here to sort this fucking mess out. He frowns, watching as frustrated she rolls her gorgeous green eyes. Then, almost out of the blue, he says, "Who the fuck are you and why are you here?" What? Sorry, I'm not sure I understand what you mean. I told you before I'm a medical officer and Edwards told me to stay here. Giving up on the picture. She returns her gaze to Digby. She's like an addict unable to get enough of him. His eyes are like blue crystal meth hooking her in. He's turning her on. Again. The pair may have only just met, but there's a connection. It's a primitive, subconscious emotional tie. And there's a lingering sweet-scented odor surrounding them as they both feel the intoxicating sexual tension zapping back and forth between them. Captivated by her and stepping forward, he leans in close and then with no warning puts his nose to the curve of her neck and sniffs. It's a long, sustained breath drawing in her aroma. What the hell's that perfume? You're wearing perfume? She frowns. His question confuses because she isn't wearing any perfume. Maybe it's her antiperspirant or shower gel. Though the last shower she took was 2 days ago. And having slept in her seat on the overnight bus, it would astonish her if he could still smell that. Yeah, it smells good. I mean, really, really good. His reaction is a little disconcerting. It's the first time a guy told her she smells good and she decides to accept it for what it is, a compliment. You know it's late. Is there no way I could just stay here tonight? Promise. I'll find somewhere else tomorrow, but I'm so tired and I really could do with a shower to clean up. I told you I don't do sharing. Well, though maybe I could make an exception and share my bed, he says. He's so full of himself and with that flash of a self-satisfied grin, it annoys her. You know something? She says, looking straight at him, staring into those gorgeous blue eyes. This is bullshit. You're right, we should forget it. I'll find a motel for the night. She bends down to pick up her duffel bag and Digby's eyes light up as he gives the curve of her firm round. Ask the once-over. Even though he doesn't want her staying here, he has to admit she's incredibly attractive, and her powerful perfume is sending his overactive sense of smell into hyperdrive. But before he's able to change his mind and tell her not to leave, the door bursts open and Darius steps inside. What the fuck is going on here? He snaps furiously. He can probably be heard 2 blocks away. He's seriously ticked off and it shows in his bullish tone. And the way his purple eyes glow, concentrated on her. You know I was about to get busy, so please tell me why the hell you couldn't handle this between the two of you. He stares long and hard, questioning. But really he knows why. Digby called him. It was purposeful so that it's him, the one now telling her to go, and it's also him putting her out on the street in the dark. But what's pissed him off most is that he had to leave an attractive and sassy blonde with an oh-so-curvaceous ass strapped to his bed. Digby and women, the cause of so many of the team's problems. So Darius considers pissing him off by telling her to stay. He's so tempted by the thought it even brings a wry smile to his face. He knows though if he lets her stay then he risks her being on the base longer than he wants. Plus, leaving a woman, any woman alone with Digby never ends well, and Edwards had already cautioned him many times to keep a leash on that. Finally Darius decides. He says, "You need to leave right now." She's had enough of him and his arrogant attitude for today. Come on, you joined this team by not taking no for an answer, so it's time to stand up for yourself and stop taking this bullshit. Senior Chief Westwood has a spare room, and Commander Edwards said that I was to stay here. You can try all you want to kick me out, but you'll need to take it up with him because I'm just following orders. Are you fucking kidding me right now? I don't give a fuck what Edwards says. You being here, it's upsetting the flow of my team, so you need to get the hell out. He's up close in her face, threatening and overbearing, and again he uses his height to intimidate as he tells her to go. All she can do is stand and stare. His aggressive attitude is way over top, and she's frustrated by their lack of willingness to compromise. You want me to go, even though he has a spare room? She asks one more time. Yes, correct, you got it, smart girl. He claps, mocking her. Digby doesn't want you here, so get the fuck out. So where am I going to stay? What, you don't care that one of your team has nowhere to go? I thought this was a unit, a family. What happened to all that team bonded bullshit you guys bang on about? Are you shitting me? He laughs, almost speechless that she would dare to answer him back. You are not a part of my team, so no bonding. I don't care where the hell you go. Get a motel, sleep in the street, I really don't give a crap. I just don't want to be dealing with this situation because right now I have something a lot more enjoyable to get back to. No, she sighs defiantly, holding her ground. No, I'm not leaving, I'm staying here. As she takes a breath, the thud of her heart beats hard against her chest as something inside her wills this defiance, despite on the outside struggling to hold her nerve. But her goading him is not one of her better ideas, and pushing his tolerance to the limit is making him more furious. Digby looks away. He can't help but snigger under his breath. He has to hand it to her. There are very few people he's ever known that are still living to challenge Darius like this. He doesn't move and folds his arms, listening to the standoff between them, enjoying it. He also knows had she been a guy, Darius would have put her on her ass. But looking at her, that doesn't feel right, and he's no longer sure what to do. That said, Darius isn't used to people not doing as they're told, and he rounds on her refusal. I said, I'm staying here tonight. Look, I don't have anywhere else to go. It's late and I need a shower and some sleep. Oh, but that's the thing, you are leaving even if I have to carry you out. They both stare at each other, but still she doesn't move, and he groans loudly. Okay, fine. Have it your way. Then, picking up her duffel, he opens the door and tosses it outside onto the path, pointing as he gestures for her to follow. She sighs and, not saying a word, heads out of the door. Behind it, Darius laughs. Right, that's sorted. Then turning to Digby, he asks, Are you happy now? Yeah, kinda. Digby frowns. He's not sure now if he actually wanted her gone. Hey, you want a beer before you go? He heads to the kitchen area of the open plan room, and taking 2 cold bottles from the refrigerator, he hands one over. Darius straightens his hair, brushes it back with his fingers, and sighs. Can you fucking believe Edward's pulling shit like that? What the fuck did he think we were going to do with her? Well, you know, she went a hell of a lot easier than I thought she would, Digby says. There was a moment there I thought she was going to go toe-to-toe with you. Yeah, she sure as hell has some balls, I'll give her that. Darius smiles as he samples the beer. You know, it's a shame they sent a woman, I mean a guy, with an attitude like that would have fit in well. There's a sound, and as they turn around they can see the front door open and Kat returns to the house. The heavy bag is slung over her shoulder and she ignores them both as she marches down the hallway, opening each of the closed doors, searching for the spare room. Bathroom, bedroom, spare. She frowns, staring into the small, brightly lit room. It's filled with an array of cardboard boxes, all identical. What the hell? She's confused by the number of boxes, but being honest, she couldn't care what they are. All she wants is the small single fold-out bed in the corner. Setting her bag down, she takes a breath and wonders what the hell she's thinking. She knows it's a massive gamble to go up against the team's commander like this is madness, she knows that. But she's too tired to think. And she couldn't care less right now. She grabs the hem of her shirt, pulls it up over her head and undresses. Then reaching inside her bag, she searches for her toiletries and a fresh set of underwear. As she looks up, she sees both Digby and Darius standing in the doorway, staring into the bedroom, mouths wide open. Darius is almost at a loss for words, but he manages to mutter, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? I told you I'm staying here tonight." Bewildered, he looks at Digby for answers. He needn't bother, Digby's not capable of any serious thinking. Right now his brain is concentrated on Kat's black lace bra. "Hey, maybe we shouldn't be too rash," Digby says. "About letting her stay? What I mean is one night's not gonna hurt, right?" His eyes fixate on her washboard stomach, the curve of her waist, and those breasts. Darius gives him a side eye. "For fuck's sake, Digby," he groans. "Oh fine. Have it your way, but don't come to me when you can't get rid of her. I'm not saying she has to stay permanently, but maybe just for tonight? Oh, come on, Darius, you know what I mean." He hushes his voice. "Look at her, man. She's freaking hot. You gotta gimme one night." He doesn't even try to hide his growing bulge, now holding up his still unzipped pants. Darius can almost hear the purr in Digby's voice. "One day you might just think with your head instead of your dick." "Oh, do what you want, I'm going. I have better things to do than involve myself in your sex life." Darius stares at Kat, and she can tell that he's furious. "You don't get too fucking comfortable, this doesn't mean shit. Understand, by the end of the week you will be gone. Oh, and your novelty value with him, that'll wear off by morning." She rolls her eyes, shakes her head, and angrily calls back at him, You might do well to give me a chance." Her words make him stop. "I know. Your team can't get back in the field, not without a medic, and I also know you haven't been able to keep any of the ones you've had. But that could change if you would just give me a chance. I could show you what a damn good medic I am." Darius turns around, staring at her, smiling with scorn. "Oh, you're so full of yourself, but see, I don't do good, only the best. And you're not the best. So don't bother unpacking that bag. I'm telling you, you won't be staying." She glares at him and picks up her duffel. She flips it and empties the entire contents onto the bed. "Oops. Looks like I'm already unpacked." "Okay." He grins, a smirk filling his smug face. "Have it your way, but don't say I didn't warn you." As Darius leaves, Digby can't help but laugh. He finds the sparring between the pair amusing to watch. "Fuck lady, you sure as hell have some kahunas, I'll give you that." He smiles. "Come on. I'll show you the bathroom." Kat takes a deep breath. Unsure where her sudden defiant streak came from, she picks up her wash bag and underwear and follows Digby to the bathroom. With his hand holding the top edge of the door, she ducks below his arm and enters. Whoa! She's surprised by how clean it is. It's pristine, and for the type of guy she considers Digby to be, this looks nothing like the bathroom she'd imagined. "Thanks. I appreciate this. I mean, you letting me stay. It's fine, but it's just for tonight. If nothing else, it was worth the entertainment of watching you piss Darius off," he says. "Do you even know how mad he is with you right now?" Folding his arms, he stares at her from the doorway. "So, you need a hand with anything?" "No, I'm fine. I can manage by myself, thanks." She hesitates, waiting to undress as he still wavers in the doorway. He doesn't want to leave. There's something about her breasts, yeah, but also the rest of her, which compels him to keep his eyes glued to her. "The shower is just there." "Yeah, I can see that," she says. "Well, I guess I should take that shower then." She waits for him to get the hint that she wants him to leave. "You want me to stay? I mean, I could give you a hand, wash your back for you," he teases. No." She laughs at the cheekiness of his response, but she's tempted. "No. I can manage on my own, but thanks for the offer," she says, a bright glint in her eyes as she bites her lip, flirting with him. "You sure?" He playfully tips his head, and he can see she's contemplating the offer. Oh yeah, she's tempted. He smiles. Well, as I said, I'm just outside. If you change your mind. Oh, and there's no need to be shy around me. What I mean is if we're gonna be on the same team on operations together, you'll get no privacy. So please don't be embarrassed about getting naked whenever you want. Okay, well, I'll bear it in mind, she says, blushing. I mean about getting naked. He nods, slowly backing out of the room, watching as he closes the door. Something inside her is tempted to call him back and take up his offer. But that would be foolish. That wouldn't end well. Chapter 5. Examining herself in the mirror, Kat can see the warm flush of sex still evident in her face by its bright pink color. Then looking down, she places a soothing hand against the fiery tingle in her breasts. The overzealous spirit with which he pleasured her before felt good, but now in the aftermath it's not so great. Pulling her shirt on, she's grateful the soft cotton is loose, fitting against her body. Now staring again into the mirror, her eyes concentrate on the deepening purple mark on her neck. It's sore and way more prominent than she thought. Having deeply scarred her skin, it's definitely going to take a while to fade. She let him get carried away and enjoyed him much more than she should have, actively encouraging him, biting and sucking the most vulnerable part of her neck. Now she hopes the collar on her shirt covers it, because there's certainly no way to disguise the fact it's a bite. Hickeys, something for hormonal teens carried away in their first flourishes of sexual desire. But as grown-ups, this is much more than over excited heavy petting. This, she frowned, staring at it in the mirror. This was deliberate. He meant for it to mark her skin. Such an obvious mark, and if confronted about it, she won't be able to deny anything. But if anyone found out it was him, then it would be her undoing, an end to her special operations career before it began, and just like the past, all because she couldn't keep her panties up when needed. Shit, she mumbles. Perhaps it'll fade by the morning? Needing something to put on it, she turns to the wisdom of the internet. It returns a plethora of options, including toothpaste, banana peel, and cold spoons. Considering the first to hand, toothpaste, she looks at the mark. It's still very raw, and the minty paste would hurt. And so, after much deliberation, she concludes that for tonight she'll leave it and deal with it tomorrow, when a generous amount of facial concealer may have a better remedial effect. Right now she must deal with Ryan, and just like the love bite, wonders whether it's a situation that should be dealt with in the cold light of day. Perhaps instead she ought to take herself to bed and try to forget this ever happened. No, she thinks, scraping her hair back, tying it in a loose knot on top of her head. He was making pasta, and if nothing else she was hungry, so the best thing was to face him and get it over with now. Stepping into the room, Kat smiles nervously, confronting him after their encounter. Hey. Oh hey. You okay? He turns from the stove and, looking at her khaki shirt, bare legs, and worried look, he smiles. Then, taking the caps off two of the cold beers, he hands her one. So you want cheese on your pasta? He seems relaxed, and it puts her at ease. Softening her stance, she smiles. No thanks, it's fine as it comes. There you go then. One Digby special carbonara. He grins, passing her the bowl filled with a generous amount of mushrooms, ham, and ribbons of pasta, covered in a white cream sauce. This looks great. I mean, really great. Once again he surprises her. When he said he was making pasta, she envisaged a microwave and a 6-minute ready meal. Filling her mouth with a forkful of the delicious food, she cocks her brow with surprise. Wow, this is so nice. You're actually a really good cook. Oh, I'm good at everything I do, he says. Then, taking the beer and over-filled bowl, drops his 6'8" muscular frame on the couch and flashes another of his "come fuck me" grins. He looks so good and so sexy that it melts her inside, but pulling herself together, she focuses back on her food. Modest too, she says, teasing him. Looking at him laid there, feet up on the arm of the couch, she makes the first sensible decision of the night. I'm going to eat this in my room. I'm tired and I'll probably just crash after. He grins, and it's apparent he wants to say something, but Kat gets the impression he's not feeling as uncomfortable as her. Ryan, about what just happened in there? Could we agree to forget about it and maybe start again? Was stupid to let it happen, and it's sure as hell not going to happen again. So perhaps it's best if we just put it down to a schoolgirl error. I know I'm tired, but still, I should have known better. So what are you complaining now? His face fills with a full of himself. Smirk. I mean about the sex? Only I didn't hear much complaining going on in there. A lot of moaning and groaning, but certainly no complaints. No, I'm not complaining, well not about the sex anyway, she says blushing, as the images of them in the shower replay in her mind. No, the sex was good. Actually, the sex was great. You misunderstand, I just don't think we need to mention what happened to anyone. We should just forget about it. But what if I don't want to forget about it? What if I want to do it again? His declaration concerns her. He stares at her, a glint in his bold blue eyes, while he fills his mouth with a large spoonful of pasta. It's so sexy. What the hell is wrong with you? What, you can't even watch him eating his food without getting turned on? She's tired and in need of her bed for sleeping. It's been a long couple of days and she needs to pull herself together. Thanks for this. I mean the food in the room. I'll see you in the morning. She smiles before heading to the small box-filled room to find her bed for the night. Hey, he calls. She walks back out to see what he wants. How about the sex? You didn't thank me for that. Yeah, well thanks for that too, she says laughing. He's incorrigible and a little too sexy, but for now, he must remain on her stay-away list. Nice to meet you, Kat. I'll see you in the morning. He grins watching as her firm butt, crammed into a pair of small black panties, disappears behind the bedroom door. Taking a deep breath, he adjusts the heart swelling that's growing in his shorts. Just looking at her has got him aroused again. Fuck man, what the hell is wrong with you? He reaches for his cell from the top of the dresser and makes a call. Come on, pick it up. Damn it. He curses loudly as it goes to voicemail. Darius, it's me. Look, I know what I said, but, well, about this new medic. She's gotta go. I can't have her here. 04:16 HRs. What the hell are you doing? He asks, watching as Kat ties her laces. Do you even know what the hell the time is? Yeah, of course, it's just after 4. She pulls at the elastic band of her ponytail, making it tighter. So, as I said, what the hell are you doing? What does it look like? I'm going for a run before work. Sipping quickly from the hot coffee in her cup, she frowns. Oh, I hope you don't mind, but I made some fresh. There's plenty in the pot if you want some. No, it's fine. Looking her up and down, her hair tied in a tangled mess on top of her head and her clothes, black bra top and shorts finished with bright pink running shoes. What, you're going running now? Okay, but not dressed like that. He stares at her, questioning her outfit, her long toned legs poking out from the barely there shorts and her breasts squashed into the stomach revealing top. Like this? Yeah. Why, what the hell do you expect me to go running in? She frowns, dismissing the comment, concentrating instead on the fitness tracker strapped to her wrist, tapping in today's goals. No, see, that's the point, you're not going running. Not dressed like that. You need to put a shirt on. I'm serious, Kat. Put a fucking shirt on. She laughs, sipping the last of her coffee as she ignores him and checks the time on her watch. But then, looking up, she sees in his face that he's not joking. What? Are you serious? She asks. Did you turn into my grandmama overnight or something? Seriously, you have a problem with me going dressed like this? You do remember what happened between us last night? No, I don't have a problem with it, not if you're staying home. But you can't go out there like that, not on the base. You'll have every fucking dog from here to the state line sniffing you out. Snorting, she can't help but laugh at his sudden disapproval. This is a joke? I mean, you're not actually serious. Ryan, this is bullshit, I'm not listening to this. Besides, if you didn't notice, I can take care of myself. The tone in his voice turns much more serious, and his eyes glow with disdain. I said put a fucking shirt on. He picks up the t-shirt, the one he left on the couch last night, and throws it at her. Put it on. What? No, fuck you. Sure, we had sex, but that doesn't mean you own me. You can't tell me what to wear. Kat, I'm serious. I'm not gonna let you run around this base dressed like that. Not here. Not when. He doesn't finish what he's saying, just looks at her and takes a deep breath. Trust me, you can't. Look, it's not my problem if you guys can't keep it in your pants. Fine, then have it your way. She frowns, watching as he pulls the tee over his own head, covering up his muscular-toned gorgeous body. and then takes the pair of black sneakers from the rack and puts them on. What? She sniggers, laughing hard. Seriously? You're going to come with me? What, like a bodyguard? Yeah, if that's what you want to call it. So shall we? He points, gesturing her out of the door. Laughing hysterically, unable to believe he's actually going to do this, she takes a breath, frowning as she looks at him. You have to be kidding me? Oh, I get it. This is alpha bullshit. What, to prove that you can run faster and further than me? That there's no way I could keep your pace, and so there's no way I can make the team, is that it? Maybe it's one of the Master Chief's ideas? You know what, don't try to explain. Come on then, you want to run with me? Then we'll run, but I'll tell you now I will be slower than you, so you really have nothing to prove. Cat, he sighs, listening to her continuous babble. You know, special operations, it's not about how fast you can run, it's about mindset. About having the grit and determination to get through to the end, get the job done. No matter what. His tone is more serious, more focused. You do understand that, right? Yeah, sure. Okay. I get it. Does she, though? Does she really understand what's going to be asked of her? He's not so sure. Will she make it? That he doesn't know either, not yet. But what he does know is there's something about her, something he really likes. Relaxing his frown, he smiles and ushers her out of the door. So what, you say we do 10 clicks? Yeah, sure. That's what you want. I was only going to do 5, but 10 is cool. Ryan frowns as he waits, watching as she twiddles the settings on her watch. What the hell is that thing you keep messing with? It's my fitness tracker. Tells me how I'm doing. Am I keeping pace? On time? How many miles? That kind of stuff. What, you don't have one? But I thought you guys were all into performance goals. Come on, he laughs. Follow me. Turning around at the halfway mark, they begin the steady jog back. But at the 7 mark, it's obvious Kat's lagging way behind. Ryan's pace is intense, and the pain in her side lets her know she can't keep it up. Feeling hot and dizzy, she stops to take more water. Okay, I need to slow down. I concede. I can't keep this pace up, and you're going to have to continue without me. She gasps and, struggling for breath, stops. You win. What, you're quittin'? How the hell do I win if you give up? That makes no sense. You just go, I'll come back at my own pace. No, fuck you. What kind of bullshit attitude is that? That's not how it works. We're a team, you and me, we don't work as individuals. Only together do we. Go, so you need to step it up, because right now it's you letting this team down. Come on, Kat, you're being a flake, you need to push your limits if you want this. Taking a deep breath, she steps forward again, but only a few paces, and she has to pull up as the stitch in her side becomes unbearable. Ryan, I can't. Look, it's been good, and hell, I even beat my personal best for the 5. I guess having you as my pace runner helped. She checks the tracker on her wrist. Digby looks at her and his brow furrows. What the fuck? You know what, give me that damn thing. Come on, give it here. Grabbing her wrist, he holds her tight and undoes the strap on the watch, and wrestles it from her arm, shoving it in his pocket. Ryan, what the hell do you think you are doing? You don't need that dumb piece of shit. You keep looking at it and it's slowing you down, so now just get fucking running. But I can't, she pleads. Look, I get it. I get that I can't run as fast or as far as you or any of you. So point proved. Now you can go tell Jackson I failed. That's it? You're just gonna quit like that? Wow. Well, you just got this. Team killed, and you're right, your ass is so outta here. You know Darius is gonna ream you so bad if you perform like that and give up at the first sign of pain. He shakes his head, his eyes still focused on her. Kat, you'll need to dig a hell of a lot fucking deeper if you want Darius to give you a place on this team. He takes a breath and continues. Just listen to me, to what I'm telling you. We don't leave anyone behind. And those tangos over there with K's, they're not gonna wait for your bullshit tech to tell us to run. You gotta do it for yourself. You've gotta find something inside you, something to push you on even when the pain is bad. Now, he pauses. Get your fucking ass running, Lieutenant. Ryan, I said I can't. Yeah, I heard that bullshit. Well, I'm giving you an order. Fucking run. Then, giving her no choice, he grips his hand tightly around her wrist and drags her behind him as he sets off again at pace. Alright, stop. Geez, Ryan, give me a minute. Alright, I get what you're trying to push me on, but I can't keep up that pace, not if you want me to run. Right, okay, that's better. He smiles and lets go of her arm. You just admitted you've got a limit. Good. Now breathe nice and slow till you're ready to go again. She doubles over, catching her breath, her lungs heaving hard in her chest. Ryan. She frowns awkwardly. We can't. Oh, shut the hell up, I'm not trying to feel you up, though I can if you want. The wanna ride my dick look from last night fills his face again. Makes her think about how much she actually does want him to feel her up. Ryan continues, now breathe. Slow deep breaths that fill your chest. You wanna run your best? Then this is where you feel it. Right here in your heart. That's what tells you if you're running your best. If it don't hurt like hell, well, then you're not giving it 100%. He lectures her. But with that soft drawlish tone, she could have him berate her all day. Right, can we get a move on now, 'cause I'm fucking starving and I need some breakfast. Sighing loudly, Kat can't take her eyes off him. Something about him makes her tingle inside, and the heady scent of his testosterone-smelling sweat is driving her lady parts into overdrive. But as much as he physically turns her on, there's also something that fascinates her about him too. His body may be every inch the alpha, but his mannerisms are a lot less. His beautiful blue eyes make her curious, and she makes a mental note to pull his file when they get back and find out more about him. Now catching her breath and pulling herself together, she runs again. But just as they head into the last half mile, she struggles and trips on the curb, landing heavily on the sidewalk and cutting her knee. Fuck, she curses. Sitting on the ground and clutching her chest, she struggles to breathe. Oh man, I can't do this, you're going too damn fast. If you can't, then your ass is definitely outta here by the end of the week. What? Why? Just because I can't run as fast as you? That's bullshit. She grimaces, wiping the blood from the graze on her knee. What the hell do you think Darius is gonna do when you can't complete his exercise run at his pace? I tell you what, first he's gonna abandon your ass in the middle of nowhere, then we're gonna take the extract hello, and you're gonna be left to a long fucking walk back. He laughs. Now come on, get your ass up. We're gonna finish this. I'm just going to take a shower, she says when they arrive back at the house. I need to get to the office. I have medicals to do all morning. Yours is booked for noon. You booked me a medical? A medical for what? I just figured I'd do a full physical on everyone and get the team records up to date. I noticed they hadn't been done for a while. So, if nothing else, I'll get everything straight for whoever comes after me. She laughs. Wait, have you told Darius you're doing medicals on his team? With her hands resting on her hips, Kat looks at him and notices his eyes are only focused on one thing, the tone taut of her stomach. I didn't see any reason I'd need to. Tell him. I'm the MO in charge and I do what I need to for the team on medical grounds. Wow, Kat, you seriously know how to go about pissing him off. Trust me. Before you do anything, you need to run it past him first. No, I don't think so. I told you I'm the medical officer and it's my call. Those records are seriously out of date and I can't do my job properly, not if I don't know where you're all at. Kat, please listen to me and don't do this without telling him. Oh, and you think he's going to be receptive towards anything I say, right? Now. No, sorry, I'm standing my ground. This is the right thing to do. Alright, well then fine. It's your funeral. But don't say I didn't warn you. Now, did you say noon? I'll be there. Good. She smiles. Taking a deep breath, she frowns. Seriously, what's the worst that could happen? Chapter 6. Come in. Laying her pen on the desk, Kat looks up. Digby stands in the doorway wearing a wanna-fuck smile, staring at her. Okay, so I have coffee and donuts. Figured you'd probably be hungry by now. Standing up from her seat at the desk, she checks the time on the clock. You're here early. Oh, am I? Good, then that gives us time to eat and think about doing other things, he says, playing with the collar on her shirt before he strokes his fingers softly against the mark on her neck. She pulls away, rejecting his touch. She's still somewhat ashamed about what they did last night. Ryan, I told you that's not going to happen again. Yeah, and I told you it's Digby. Biting his teeth against his lip, he watches her and leaning his firm-toned butt against the edge of her desk, he sits down. Okay, so I'll tell you what, call me Digby at work and as you say. It's so nice, you can call me Ryan in the bedroom. Well, seeing as the bedroom is not going to happen again, then Digby will be. Fine. Resisting the sudden urge to kiss him, Kat's eyes wander across the lines of his face. Anyway, I'm curious why Digby? What's the connection between Ryan and Digby? Digby? Like the dog in the movie? He smiles, looking at her now baffled expression. You know, the biggest dog in the world. Oh, okay. She laughs. Yeah, sure, I get it now. You like to think of yourself as a big dog? But you do know that's not a great reputation to have being a dog. Yeah, but my Digby, it's not referring to me. He smirks, placing his hand against his groin. Okay, I get it, I don't need an explanation. Sipping from the paper cup, she smiles. This is nice. What is it? It's a vanilla coffee, I figured you'd like it. Yeah, it's good. There's an intense vibe between them, and with the scent from his aftershave so intense and seductive, she feels the need to step away. Picking up her stethoscope and pulling the equipment cart beside her, she places a hand on the examination table, motioning for him to sit. You can take your shirt off? Then we'll get started. See, I knew you couldn't resist me. He smiles, eagerly undoing the buttons on his shirt. You know, I've never fucked in an office before, well, not on the base, so this is gonna be a first for both of us. Ryan, this is not foreplay, this is me listening to your chest and doing some tests. Now lie down, I have to take some blood. Wait, blood? Why? What is it with you guys? She laughs. You've all been squeamish about this. You should have seen the way Zach kicked off trying to resist. Yeah, but have you spoken with Darius about this? Have you told him what you're doing? What exactly are you doing with this blood? Just some tests. Sending them to the lab to run some standard diagnostics. Blood sugar levels, glucose, stuff like that, nothing major. Why, is there anything specific you want me to check? Kat, you really need to talk to Darius before you do this. I told you I won't. Now take your damn shirt off like I asked. Reluctantly he complies, mainly because he wants her to touch him. Unfastening his shirt, he strips to the waist and sits on the couch, placing the cool metal stethoscope against the curve of his chest. She listens to the steady pounding thud of his heart as he stares at her and smiles. He's trying to distract her by blowing gently against her neck. Ryan, will you stop it? He smiles, and continuing to annoy her, he strokes his finger against her mark, tempted to do it again. For her, the physical attraction of being this close to him is overriding her senses, the heat from his body and his scent so strong that she can practically taste him. Fuck! She sighs, closing her eyes, trying to focus on what she's doing, listening to his heart. He's calm and all she can hear is a steady beat. She's not. Her pulse is racing with heady desire, and as his touch moves from her neck to her arm, and then to the side of her breast, she quickly brushes him away. Will you please stop touching me? Taking the tourniquet from the cart, she ties it tight around his bicep. He allows it simply because he likes the touch of her hand on his skin. She's again making him hard, and standing up close she can sense it. Digby, stop. I can't, sorry, it's your perfume. The smell has got me all over the damn place. Yeah, and this is exactly why last night should never have happened, and why it won't happen again. Ryan, we have to keep this under control. He looks at the swollen vein on his arm as she preps to take a sample. Well, you carry on doing this and it's not going to matter what we do, 'cause you're gonna be out of here. I told you Darius is not gonna like this, not one bit. Not going to like what? This is me doing my job. Surely he can't have a problem with that. What am I supposed to do? Anyway, these examinations need to be done. He looks down as she continues with the cannula in his arm. He takes a hold of her hand and stops her. Kat, just stop and think for a minute about what you're doing. There's a reason those medical notes are not up to date. So, what's gonna happen when you put through an unregistered set of bloods for testing? After all, we're a unit that doesn't officially exist. We're not on the system, and it's supposed to stay in-house. That's why we need you to be the best at what you do. Go ahead, do this, but you better hope to God no one questions where these blood tests came from. Don't worry, it'll be fine. I'll send them anonymously and no one will know. Ryan, they're just routine tests. Why are you so worried? She stops what she's doing and looks up, concerned. Are you doing drugs, steroids, something like that? Is there something I should know about? Oh shit, you don't think You've got an STI, do you? The hell I have. And I don't do drugs or any of that crap. So why the concern? What, you think something's going to flag up? It's okay. You can tell me. I won't judge. Is that why Zach was worried? Then tell him I can help. I mean, if he has an addiction or something. Shut the hell up. None of the team does drugs and no one needs steroids. Just listen to me when I say don't do this. Darius will ream you so bad when he finds out, and he will, you can trust me on that. She takes a deep breath, angry. I don't care. As I said, it's my job. I need to get these records up to date. Then, against his advice, she inserts the needle into his vein, drawing the dark blood into the vial. His eyes focus, staring at her, and it makes her nervous. Then, sealing the test tube, she puts it on the tray ready to label, wiping the scratch on his arm with clean gauze. She finishes up. There, it's all done. Simple. Digby, I'm serious. If there's something you want to tell me, maybe I can help. Okay, yeah, you're right. He grins, staring her in the eyes. Kat, I do have something you can help with. Okay. She waits, anticipating a tale of drug abuse or a story of woe. Concentrating, ready to show her professional ability to listen and understand problems. This. He grabs her hand, placing it directly on his hard groin, and smiles. I want to fuck you again. Oh my God. She squeals, beyond annoyed. Ryan, I told you that is never happening again, ever. Oh, come on, don't tell me you don't want to do it again, because that's a lie. I can smell it on you. You want it as much as me, I know it. His face fills with a huge teasing smile, and he leans forward, brushing his lips on hers. His hand grabbing the cloth of her shirt, pulling it out from where it's tucked in her pants. Then slowly, seductively, he works his lips over her mouth before trailing a line with his tongue down her neck. Desperately, she tries to resist and sighs as his fingers slowly unfasten the front of her shirt, his mouth sucking against the crook of her neck. Ryan. She hitches her breath. In the sudden excitement, wet lust floods her panties. Please stop. She sighs breathlessly as the buzz of sexual tension overwhelms her, making her crazy. Stop it. Right now. It doesn't matter what we want. This can't happen. It's not going to happen. Sorry. She is sorry, but only half-heartedly does she stop his hands as they wander their way up under her shirt into her sports bra. Then, just as his fingers are about to tease the nipple tucked inside, the door to the office bursts open. Darius. Fuck. Quickly, she steps back, trying to tidy herself, unaware that her shirt is unbuttoned all the way. Master Chief Jackson, you can't just come in here like this. Not when I'm examining a patient. Darius laughs loudly. It's almost like the call of a wild animal. Then, folding his arms, he grins. Yeah, I can see how you were about to do that. Examine him, I mean. Chewing frantically on the gum in his mouth, he smirks, looking at Digby, who doesn't move, just grins in reply. You know, Diggs, just once maybe. You could keep it in your pants for at least a day. He laughs, stepping forward, towering over Kat. You have some serious explaining to do. What the fuck is going on here? Why am I just hearing that you're taking blood samples from my team? Yeah, it's part of a routine health screen. I was just getting there. Medical notes up to date. She stutters, trembling. The hell you are. Things like this need to be cleared through me first. Are we clear? You're not even part of this fucking team. You don't have the authority to do this without my say-so. But this is part of my role, as MO, to keep the team healthy. That's what I thought I was here for, is it not? Your role is to do what I say. I keep this team safe, and this is not keeping anyone safe. I let you send samples of their blood out there. That's not keeping them safe. I don't want anyone getting hold of details of this team. Do you understand that? This is Black Ops, not some fucking jerk-off regular unit. Okay, sure. Ryan explained that to me, and I see where you're coming from. But just like I told him, I can keep the tests anonymous. Look, Master Chief. If you have a drug or steroid problem in this unit, we can work on it. It's quite a common thing, painkillers, things like that. It's all understandable. I've seen it before, and I'm happy to work with the guys on a treatment plan. I can help. Will you shut the fuck up? Help them? Do you think my team does drugs? What the fuck is wrong with you? Then, taking her by surprise, he grabs her by the throat, shoving her back against the wall. He's hurting her, and she coughs, choking. Now Digby's up on his feet, stepping towards them. Darius. Calm the fuck down, man, and let her go. Darius, I'm fucking Serious, let her go. He takes a breath, pulling aggressively on Darius' shoulder, protecting her. Darius glares. His violet iris glow angry as he prods her in the chest with his fingers. Let me tell you something. Nothing is anonymous, it can all be traced. Once it's on that system, it's there. You've just got to know how to access it. Yeah, I know, Kat says, catching her breath. But no one will see my notes. They're locked on my system. No one would know. He laughs. No one would know, that's what you think? Right, like your psych report, which by the way I got Zach to pull out of the system. Yeah, but they're not available to read. They're not part of my service record. Medical notes are separate. Oh, is that right? So, you didn't tell your shrink you fucked your commanding officer? Even though for the public record you both denied it. Heard it got you thrown off Hell Week and that left you feeling down and guilty. Look, I have no idea who told you that, but she swallows nervously, watching him. So it's not true then? You didn't feel guilty about the lie? That you kept quiet to protect his career even though you had to take the fall for. I wanted to come clean, lying didn't sit well, boo-hoo. How could you live with it? What the fuck? She frowns as he repeats back her own words she'd said in confidence to her therapist. How the hell did you see my medical notes? That's confidential information. And I told you, if it's on a system then it's there to see. Oh, and just so you know, Zach said your shrink's security was abysmal. He laughs at the shocked look on her face. Oh, get over it, I ran a deep dive on you, but don't get any ideas that you're special. I do it for everyone. But that information is not part of my service records. That was a personal discussion in a private session. Maybe, but it's part of my check on you. We don't have secrets on this team. If you're going to be part of it, learn not to lie. I need to know anything and everything about you. I need total trust. You're quite the bad girl, so I'd get down off that damn high horse. Let's get things straight. This is my team and anything going on with my team comes through me first. Do you understand that? She sighs, taking a deep breath, and nods. I don't know how you got those records. This is bullshit. Twisting around, she gets him to release his grip on her neck. As she turns, he keeps hold of the collar on her shirt. He frowns, now noticing the purple bruising on her neck, and he looks at Digby. Did you do this? Digby doesn't reply, so Darius looks at Kat for the answer. You let him do this? She swallows nervously and doesn't know what to say. No, it was a one-night stand in a bar before coming here. It was nothing, just sex. Nothing is going on, well, not with us. I mean, don't be ridiculous, we only just met, so why would you think I'd sleep with him? She continues to burble randomly and he laughs. Wow. Fuck, you're unbelievable. I just tell you not to lie and what do you immediately do? Darius sighs. I don't give a fuck what you've been doing with him, but this taking blood, that's not happening. He turns, looking at the sample envelopes on her desk. Are these for my team? Reluctantly, she nods, watching as he grabs them up from the desk, taking them with him. You get your fucking shirt on. He stares at Digby, frowning. I want you up and ready in the shoot house in 15. Digby nods, not saying a word as Darius heads out, slamming the office door behind him. Kat sighs, taking a deep breath, watching Digby pick up his shirt, unfold it, and slip his arms inside. Standing up, he pulls it around his shoulders. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. She's furious about their attitude towards her, the aggressive tone in him taking her samples, and she considers going to Edward's, but that will only make matters worse. She needs to face this down and sort it herself. He can't do that. He can't just take those samples. Ryan, this is my job. You know he doesn't want a medic, but he has to have one. So what am I supposed to do now? Taking a deep breath, she drags her hand through her hair as she tries to think. Fuck. So what am I going to do now? I don't know. I'm sorry, but he's right, it's for the best. Look, I've gotta go. We'll talk later, but my best advice, if you really want to make this team, then go to the gym, work on your strength and regroup. Get yourself ready for this fitness test. You need to pass that as a priority, then you can worry about this kind of stuff. Kat, you need to trust him and he needs to trust you. Work on getting him on side, don't keep going up against him. Trust him? What the fuck? You want me to trust him? How? He won't even talk to me without yelling. Well, keep pissing him off. or he's just gonna keep tearing strips off. You. What, because I'm a woman? No. Not for being a woman. He does this to everyone. He may be an asshole, but he's a consistent asshole. He laughs. Trust me, this ain't nothing about your body parts, he's just testing you. Cat, that's a good thing. He smiles, stroking her neck. It's good because if he wanted you gone, you'd be gone already. So he's given you a chance, an opportunity to prove yourself to this team. It's up to you if you take it or not. This is a joke, she says, taking a breath. Ryan, he's being a total jackass. Do you want me off this team too? She stares, looking him in the face. Well, do you? Cat, it's not that. Oh, shut up and just get the fuck out. She sighs, pushing him away. Did you hear me? I said get out.